All right, so next I'm going to point you to the topic proposal on page 223. You are going to do a topic proposal. I'll have it in the assignment category. It's very straightforward. It's straightforward, but I really think it helps you to know how to focus on your topic and how it gives you ideas of how you're going to perhaps organize this. And it really forces you to have a topic because it just kind of helps you to avoid that very human problem of the night before it's due going, oh my gosh, what's my topic? So you're going to, for the topic proposal for the essay, you're just going to follow the six questions and just answer them. But I do want it to be typed. So this one, it was totally fine on the notes to send me a picture of your handwritten notes. That's fine. But not for this. This should be typed because this is a topic proposal. It's a little more serious. So you want it to be typed, and I want it to be in complete sentences. You do not need to type out the questions because I do have the questions in the book, but you can if it helps you. I know sometimes I've had several students type out the questions and it just helps them to kind of stay on track. Totally fine. You can either type the questions or not, your choice, but I do want complete sentences. No yes or no answers because that doesn't help you to get focused. So I'm going to go through the questions and just to clarify them. Number one, again, we're on page 223. Number one, what process will you explain in your essay? All that means is what's your topic? I'm going to explain how to make chocolate chip cookies. I'm going to explain how to give my dog a bath or something like that, right? Is it directional or an informative process? We are only doing a directional process. So they will all be directional process. You don't actually have to answer if it's directional or not. It is directional. If you do, that's fine. And then it says, can you address the complexity of this process in a short essay? You should be able to. And so you need to explain why you can address the complexity of this process in a short essay. It's a really good question because it forces you to grapple with, do I need to break this topic down? Is it too big? Something like that. Number two, why did you select this topic? Are you personally or professionally interested in the process? Cite at least one reason for your choice. Okay, so why did you select the topic? So what I don't want is I have no idea or because I was forced to. I mean, maybe that's true, but try to go deeper than that, okay? So why did you select the topic? Because I love to bake and I really enjoy teaching others how to bake delicious desserts. Or because I've taught swimming before and I'm really excited to teach others how to have this necessary skill. Or, whatever it is. Just explain why you chose the topic and give at least one reason for the choice, right? So that, again, it just helps you to be more focused. All right, and so then it says, number three, why do you think this topic would be helpful or interesting to others? What makes it especially informative or enjoyable? So you don't want to say, well, I don't know. Nobody's interested in this but me or something like that. That's just silly. Don't say that, right? So, but what you also don't want to do is say everyone. Go back to that chapter on audience in the beginning, the first chapter, right? That was where we focused on audience, and think about who's the audience. I mean, it doesn't mean that anybody couldn't read your paper and really learn a new skill, and that would be very helpful. But it's as if you were marketing your paper. Who would you market it to? So if you're planning a children's birthday party, maybe it's parents of preschoolers is your target audience. I want you to think about in that question, who is your target audience? I'll give you another example. These are also topic ideas, right? I had a student a few years back that did a paper for this assignment on how to teach senior citizens computer and internet skills. And she did this as a volunteer, which was really cool. But her target audience was people 65 and older, right? So it's not that someone else that needed the tech skills that they couldn't benefit from reading her paper. It's just that she targeted it toward that demographic, right? So that's what you want to think too. You just like you're working for a marketing firm, like who's my demographic here? Again, it will just be very focused. Other folks can learn from it too, but do kind of keep that in mind. All right, it will really help you to craft your paper in a really clear way. All right, and then it says next, what you want to do, number 4, is list 1 or 2 sentences that is the ideal response from your reader. So ideally, what would you want them to say after reading this paper, or do after reading this paper? Like, so are you going to teach them how to make a, start a garden, and you want them to try planting some tomatoes or something like that? Do you want to teach them, how to learn to sew, and they're going to like sew something after this? Or again, they're going to change their own oil in their car, or whatever it is. But maybe you want them to just do a part of the process, or just to be aware of it, so they could, kind of think about this in the future. It's going to be individual to you, but what would be the ideal response? Like, oh, I never knew that it was so easy to give your dog a bath, or something like that. Whatever it is, that would be what you want to do there. All right, and then it says number 5, list at least 3 of the larger steps in the process. So again, I said in the beginning, write down all the steps, right? And then list at least 3 of the larger steps, the categories, right? Those will turn into body paragraphs. If you do that in that topic proposal, you've got 3 ideas for body paragraphs right there. I will just say this really quickly, that this type of paper, it can actually, because you have to describe the whole process, it could be longer than 5 paragraphs. Sometimes it just takes longer to explain the process. So you might have 8 or 9 paragraphs. I mean, that could actually happen. And that's fine. I mean, that's why you've got 3 to 5 pages, right? So you remember, you've got those 2 extra pages, and you may need them for this paper. Really, no one should have any trouble meeting the length requirement in this paper, unless you're doing that how to sharpen a pencil, which I don't advise. All right, so then it says number 6, what difficulties might this topic present during your drafting? Will this topic require additional research on your part? What difficulties could there be? Well, it could be, I've never written this type of paper before, or I know how to do this process, but I've never explained it to anyone before, or I've done this, but I've never written it down before. I may need to ask my mom about the directions on how to make this recipe, or, whatever, right? It could be anything. It could be, well, I'm still kind of trying to figure topic sentences out, and I'm a little confused about that, or something. It's going to be unique to you. If you don't anticipate any difficulties, then say why. I don't anticipate any difficulties because I've taught several people how to cut their own hair, or something like that, and it's gone really well, or whatever it is. So, or I've written this type of paper before, and I think I understand what the overall format is, or whatever. So additional research, you don't have to do additional research, but sometimes you might, right? So it's not a requirement of the paper, no, but it could require additional research depending on your topic, and if so, you would want a works cited for that. So for example, I once had a student who did a paper on how to have a baby shower, how to put one of those baby showers on. So what she did was she did look up information about some of the traditional baby shower games. So since she did look up that information, she included a works cited with her paper and cited that information, both parenthetically and in the works cited. All right, so since it doesn't happen that often, I'm not anticipating that you have to do that. Just contact me if you need to know more information about how to work with that issue with this paper. All right, so you don't have to, but if you look up information, you do need to give whoever you looked it up from that credit. All right, so I'm going to point out some sample essays in the book. that are very helpful. The 13th edition, the latest edition, the one that looks like this, of the book has one called An Experiment in Spending Less. It's a really good essay. I will point out something about the essay is that this one has two introductions. It has two opening paragraphs, and so it is a technique that's not done that much, but they do it here. We're not doing that. I think that can be really confusing, especially as we're learning to just really get our essay structure down. You're doing one introduction. so it's good to see it, but it should be one. All right. So, but other than that, I really love the sample essays they give in this book. They number them, and they give sample topic sentences. You can see how each step is a category. So that's really helpful. If you have a previous edition that has the garage sale essay, that's my favorite. It's an absolutely fabulous essay of how to do a garage sale. And if you look at this one, but you'd like to see the garage sale essay, and you don't, you just have the current edition of the book, then contact me and I can try to point you to how to see the garage sale essay that's in a previous edition. But that's another good topic too, how to hold a garage sale. But in any of them, they give you really good, a really good model of how you can have each paragraph as its own category and how specific you need to get about looking at explaining the details. All right. I wish we could go through it, but if I just start reading this essay to you, I put you to sleep. It's whoa, the video's over, right? So we're not going to do that. All right. I also want to point you to a couple of other things. There are some professional directional process essays in the book that are also really helpful. One is called To Bid the World, Farewell by Jessica Mitford. This is about the process of embalming. It's very unique. She was a journalist and author, and so that's very unique. If you can't handle that topic right now, then I wouldn't do that one, but you can choose, right? But it's not too grisly, though, I have to say. It's done well, very specific. And then this is my favorite of the professional essays, though, is this one, which is on page 233, Preparing for the Job Interview, Know Thyself. Fantastic essay. You can tell I'm like super excited about this essay. It's called Preparing for the Job Interview, Know Thyself by Katie Petrowski. And I'll just to set the stage for that, one of the things she does in the intro is she uses dialogue. She poses it as her talking to this person that is going to interview for the job, and she's teaching them how to get a job, right? I mean, how to succeed in the interview. And she has this great dialogue. I'll just read you the beginning of the dialogue just to then you can read the essay. But it says, I have a job interview this afternoon, Sean told me. Are you ready for it, I asked. I'm not sure, she confessed. And then so it says, so drawing on my work as a career consultant, I helped her through an interview readiness procedure. Another good word that shows you're going to teach how. Procedure. A quick 6-step process is another good word, that can successfully prepare almost anyone for a job interview. Wow, I love that intro, right? So you can do that. You can actually use dialogue. I had a student do that for, she wrote a paper several years ago on how to give your dog a bath, and she constructed that she was in the intro talking with her neighbor. About that he said he would like to do that. He's spending so much money going to groomers, and she told him how she could teach him how to do that and save him money or something like that. So it was very engaging. So that's something that you can do. So this model is I can't say enough about this essay. I just absolutely love it. And it has great topic sentences, great transition words, and really good details, and you can really see the categories. So I can't say enough good about that. I'm obviously super excited about that essay. All right, so that is the overview from the chapter, and I will be posting the assignment about the topic proposal, and I believe I think we might do something a little more specific with the professional essays. So just look for that. But I wanted to, and we will be doing, it's my plan anyway, to do a writer's workshop, which I hope is helpful. It's very different doing it via video. I really like being in person, but we just can't. Um, so I wanted to go over the chapter because it's so important to understand how this essay is the same as other essays with essay structure, but how it is unique as far as directions and steps. And one more time, I'm going to say that each body paragraph is a category. It's a category of that step, and each topic sentence will be a large step in the process, and then you just fit your details into what category that you're putting them in, and that's where to put what body paragraph. It's kind of, I think, a fun essay to write. I mean, it's English teacher fun, but it's fun nonetheless. So thank you so much, and I'm hoping that this was helpful. All right, I'll see you guys, I guess, in the next video.